always down to the last wire.
Yeah.
Always down.
Same with me.
That's the way it works. That's the way it rolls. That's the way we roll.
That means we're prepared. That's all.
We got Shelly Morrison in the chat. She wrote Bigfoot Anonymous. Glad to hear it. I like Crystal Skulls, but I like Eric and Mom too. That's right. Just let you guys know, Bigfoot Anonymous was actually on our channel probably about 3 to 4 weeks ago. We talked we talked about everything. It wasn't just Bigfoot. We talk about everything. And he's going to be back on next Wednesday. And we're going to be talking some Matrix stuff next Wednesday. So he will be joining us next week again. And anybody who saw him last time knows the man has full of energy. Full of energy.
Yeah, we can take a break.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy. And if you notice, I'm wearing a different hat today. This is actually Indiana Jones hat because, you know, we talked about the Crystal Skull.
Yes.
Which there was an Indiana Jones 4 movie, Indiana Jones and the something Crystal Skulls. I forgot the actual title. We were just watching it too.
Yeah, I was watching on TV.
I can't believe that. Wow. Talk about memory loss. We must be having a Mandela effecto.
Must be misremembering. That's the problem.
Yeah. Let's see here. It's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Kingdom. All right, a good friend, Robert Alley's here. Glad to see him. Marcus Leadhead's here. So, welcome everybody. Now, guys, first of all, beware of the org. Now, crystal skulls. Now, I know a lot of you thinking out there, crystal skulls, so what? You know, it's all fake. It's all garbage and stuff. And I'm going to tell you guys something right now. Now, with everything that goes on in the world, you know, every fraud that goes on in the world, there's always an origin on where some of these stories come from. So even though maybe out of 1,000 crystal skulls, 999 are all fake, there might be one real one. And that's where the story goes. It's no different than if you guys think about it. The original streaming service was actually Napster, right? People share files, Napster, watch movies, and then Netflix said, "Hey, we'll buy the rights and we'll show it on our computer." And everybody's saying, "Wow, people are watching movies on computers." Now everybody else has copied. Now there's like 2,000 streaming services. I mean, that's just how the world works. You know, somebody invents something, and then next thing you know it, there's 100 different copies of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got to be something to it because there's so many copies made. Now, the fact that there's copies made makes it relevant too because it's not just a look piece. There are people who swear, Eric, up and down, they've got it's manufactured, it's modern day, pure crystal, that they're able to do similar things to the ones that are old with the crystal skull or crystal ball. You know, it's the same thing as a crystal ball.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different kind of when you think of crystal, there's so many different shapes. I mean, different looks. It's just not all see-through silver, you know.
No.
I mean, there's just all different kinds, and you know, first of all, I don't really care if somebody believes in it fully or not, but just think about somebody who's making this, who's creating this. I mean, this is in itself an art form.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an art form. Some of the stuff that, you know, in the UK, in London has one of the biggest museums that actually have crystal skulls at their museum.
Yeah, I want to go see it.
Yeah, and you look at these skulls, right? I mean, some of these don't even have a scratch on it, and some of these are, like you're saying, about post-dated, 300 years old.
Yeah. Longer. The problem is in archaeology, you can't date crystal.
Yes.
Guys, you can't date it. So you can't carbon date. You can't do any dating on crystals. So, you know, they don't know. They don't know how old it is. And there was so many in the 1800s, all the way up to the early 20s or 1900s, that is. They were just raiding all the fucking temples, man. They were just taking everything. So some people were talking about owning a crystal skull, and they had bought it at Tiffany's. You know what I mean? Like, what? And then Tiffany's told them, well, they got it from this person, the paper from this person. So it's about 1,000 years old. And so they're paying all this extra money. Well, they don't know. They don't know. Just based off the technology of how it was made. But even then, Eric, you and I were looking it up, like, how? What technology did they use to make these? How did they make these like that?
Yes.
Stone tools?
And they made them where they don't even leave scratches on them. So you're using old tools, and they look marvelous. Now, Now, what's that? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this, and what is it really kind of like made of? Now, of course, there's different ones out there, but hold on. Oh, not that one. That's the pictures. I got some with the same title, so that's me. Yeah. Me here. God damn it! Let me get that off. When you have things on it written in the same title, I keep pulling up the wrong one. But like here, where is it at? Okay, now where is it? Why are there crystal skulls? Crystal skulls. Quartz helps to amplify the energy of the crystals and to amplify your thoughts. So skulls made from quartz may help you to more easily make a connection with your skull, or to spirit using the skull's energy to advance this aim. So if you're a person that believes in ESP or some kind of, or maybe take it on a ghost hunt, I don't know, because they believe that quartz helped the energy to be even stronger. So I'm surprised that, Bob, maybe we should get in contact with Travel Channel. Say, hey, me and Bob's gonna go on these ghost hunts. They're like, well, what's your gimmick? Well, we're gonna go on these ghost hunts with crystal skulls. We're gonna have the power of the energy of the quartz.
We'll give it a name, and
if you and I. And we're not going to bring and the gimmick is we're not going to bring no advice, no machine to hear voices. We're going to bring a crystal skull, and we're going to try to talk to these not creatures, these spirits out loud. But you might think people might think in the chat think you're kind of crazy. No, if you read about quartz, it's to bring out energy, increase. What are spirits, Bob? Energy. Wouldn't that be a good thing to take on a ghost hunt?
Actually, I would like to do that.
And actually, guys, now the snow's kind of went away. There's going to be a day. I don't know what day. Maybe next week on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. I have plans for Bob and I to do a paranormal show at a graveyard.
Yes.
At a graveyard. I think that'd be kind of fun. Hopefully it's not raining.
Yeah. Well, it'll add to it.
Please look up Max the Crystal Skull on the Google Images, Eric. Max the Crystal Skull. I can do that right now. Okay.
Yeah. I think Max was the one that I guess a gal she talks to. She'd purchased it. And it shows images. I believe they named the skull Max.
Here it is. I'm going to read it, and then I'll click on images. Max the Crystal Skull, area Pennsylvania. His name is Max. He is made of clear quartz and was discovered nearly 100 years ago in a Mayan tomb in Jotomala. I guess if I didn't say it right, who gives a shit? Max is believed to be between 5,000 and 36,000 years old. Like Bob said, you can't really tell the age. So that's why the age difference is really far apart, 5,000, 36,000, because it's almost impossible to find out. An ancient legend has it is that Max is one of the 13 life-size crystal skulls that exist in the world. Now let's click on images. Oh, Max right here. Max the ancient skull. There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks Zach for telling us about this. I appreciate it. Zach is he's a friend of mine on Instagram. He does awesome thumbnail pictures of base and stuff. So he got some great stuff on Instagram. So you guys should look up Zach on Instagram.
I swore I had information on that. I was reading about her and the gal that owns the skull, and I know she claims to look into it, and it has a photo like almost a movie-esque images that come into the skull. You can actually see
Hey, Bob,
things.
I got to read this to you.
Yeah.
Queen of Swords wrote, "Your spirit box made a believer out of me." Whoa!
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Some of these spirit boxes, I know people like are thinking of apps. No, there's no way they can be real, and I'm the same way. But I'm telling you guys, when I was at the hospital, when my son was in the hospital, I was sitting outside the hospital asking him questions, like my son, and the word came up as my son's name, Gabriel. I mean, what are the chances? I mean, I'm serious. If it's fake, talk about 1 out of a million chance to pull out a fake name, and it's the exact name of my son who's actually at the hospital that I took outside. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a it's hard to not believe.
I believe you.
Just follow my YouTube here, bro. It's got my music. Thanks for the shout out. Hey, buddy, I tell you what. Let me see here a second. We're give me a second. Hey, Zach. I'm gonna. Zach, you're a good guy. I like you. I just give you a wrench. So if you put your YouTube page in the chat.
Yeah.
I like Zach is an awesome guy. So Bob, okay, now you're asking what's the story about Max? Let's see. Let me just go back and let's see if there's more stories about Max the Ancient Skull. What's eBay stores? What they sell?
Yeah, they sell them a lot. They sell them now. They sell a lot.
Oh, let's see. Let's click here. Solidate carved crystal skulls, energized for $99. Guys, forget the ancient crystal skulls. You can buy them on eBay. $95, $100.
Yeah, they're pretty much a hot commodity. People have been buying them like crazy, especially with this whole apocalypse or whatever your definition of whatever's going on. People are like, "Oh, now's the time to get spiritual and start looking into fucking idols and things that can see the future."
Max, peace message to the world CD music and lyrics by what? Lyrics by
Yeah, they've copied the Max. It's interesting. Yeah. Max.
Max, I know. That is always interesting. You know, I'll tell you why I'm attracted to the crystal skull. Now there was an Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. Now, why do we care? Why do we even? Oh, there's Zach's YouTube channel, people. Why do we even care about George Lucas? Well, anybody's watching this, you're probably more open to the unknown. You're more open-minded. You believe in a lot of different subjects, communities, and one of the things you know about George Lucas is, like, if you believe in the Mandela effect, you know George Lucas is huge with C-3PO, leg being gold or silver, Luke, I'm your father type of deal. And now some people are saying R2-D2 parts are just showing up, which out of those three, the only one I can tell you that I feel that's real is Luke, I'm your father. With me, C-3PO's leg has always been silver, and he has always had those parts. But beyond that, George Lucas. We have done a lot of shows on different subjects, but sometimes different subjects kind of all put together in a single thing. It's like little clues here and here and here. Bob and I did a show about dreams.
Yeah.
People having dreams, daydreams, and we did a show on yesterday about Albert Einstein and how some of these geniuses had their dreams or had these dreams, and that's where they came up with their whatever, what made them popular, whatever,
Yeah.
E equals M2. And it came to these people in their dreams. Mozart says his music that he heard came through his dreams. What is now you're asking, who cares about that? Well, remember, guys, George Lucas, let me show here. Remember, I made a video a while back, actually last year in January. I think it's almost January.
Yeah.
Hey, I did this on, Bob, I did George Lucas on January 13th. Isn't that weird?
No fucking way.
And look, and look.
Oh, that's 113. That's the 311.
This so far has 310 views. You take out the 0, you put the 1 and a 3, that could be a 13 too. But regardless, I know it's weird, right? That is weird. George Lucas died on June 12, 1962. What I meant with that story was George Lucas was going to be a race car driver, and he crashed. And some saying that he did die and came back. Regardless, whatever you think, dying twice, it doesn't matter. But when he was in the hospital, he actually had his visions and dreams of Star Wars, which is related to a lot of Medellas and stuff. And when they made Indiana Jones 4, Steven Spielberg did not want to do Indiana Jones 4 about crystal skulls. He did not want to have aliens or crystal skulls in it. George Lucas did.
He had to.
He had to.
There's something about the crystal skulls that man had to have them. And I know a lot of people, when they watch the Indiana Jones, remember, Eric, we talked about how they watch that, they mutilate. Oh, this is horrible. This is the worst out of the entire thing. It's just so bad. Well, it's weird because, but you don't understand. Well, what was the purpose of the crystal skulls? I don't know, but George Lucas had to make it, even fighting with Steven Spielberg. So you tell me what's going, and especially now when everything is relevant, everything, every movie has some kind of relevancy. So George Lucas had to make the movie about the crystal skulls. Yeah.
Yeah. Dark Glass Wood, I like what it wrote here. For the crystal skull to have an energetic potential above that of a regular crystal, the skull shape must have some resonant, significant, kind of like a guitar, which is true. Shelley wrote, if they find the 13th one, and I think there are 12, but if the 13th one is found, oh boy, we're in luck, aren't we? That's true. I mean, 13.
Correct, by the way.
People say that George Lucas died on the 12th. He was born on the 13th. That's why I put when he died. And I have said that I always felt that when people say who's the originator of Medellas, people can say Juana Broom, whatever the fuck her name is.
Fucking cares.
And all these other people claiming Medellas. I always said, I think it's George Lucas.
George Lucas
is the one that had the vision, and it's a lot of his movies that had the messages. I mean, remember, he didn't direct Howard the Duck, but he produced it, paid for the movie of Howard the Duck, which we did a show on Howard the Duck. There's a lot of clues in that movie about Willow. He made the movie Willow about a baby born with gifts.
Yep.
His movies has messages in it, and because of that, I think there's more to Crystal Skulls than we think, just because it's related to George Lucas. Remember, George Lucas is not Hollywood.
No.
He never moved to Hollywood. He stayed in San Francisco and built his own company because he did not like Hollywood. Why would he do all that?
Well, and also he sacrificed himself. They put down his movies, his Star Wars, the later movies. They put him down. I'm like, You got to look at the meanings behind these fucking. Now, George Lucas's versions of the new Star Wars compared to this other shithead's versions with all the fucking old ladies kissing and the whole PC over the top crap. I'm like, I'd go back to his old originals any day. Not the originals, but also the Phantom Menace. Those all had some kind of symbolic meaning. If you actually watch those movies,
yes,
watch them for the symbolic meaning behind
it. It teaches you how do you attack somebody? How do you get somebody to be on your side? You ruin your family. You destroy family life. You bring people down low. Well, I forgot. Somebody died today, and somebody actually wrote it in the chat. I forgot to mention. I don't know if you did. It might not. A lot of people might not care, but Rush Limbaugh died today. Now,
the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you feel about his politics. Rush Limbaugh and Howard Stern are probably the two people that changed radio the most out of everybody.
Not Rush Limbaugh.
Yes, yeah.
I don't care. You know, Eric, my dad, guys, our dad used to tell me one thing. He says, son, you want to learn how to talk? You want to learn how to give speeches and be a spokesperson and just be a wordsmither? He says, watch evangelists, watch preachers, not the priests, because they just say it in Latin. Watch all the preachers and evangelists and the radicals talk. Rush Limbaugh, Eric, was one of the guys, like, you know, that guy watched the 700 Club growing up. The guy knew how to fucking talk. Oh, it doesn't matter. I didn't like what the preachers were saying, but it was the way they were saying it and how they were saying it that I learned from. And Rush Limbaugh is the same, no difference than that. I loved the guy. I didn't like what he said. Half the stuff I threw it away, but it's how he said it. I was like, this dude is amazing wordsmith.
Yeah. He can make you a believer out of anything.
Amazing.
Yeah. Where you're like, oh my God, he might be right.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He had that gift, you know. People like himself, and Howard Stern really changed radio for the different. Now, it's kind of funny, you know, if you look at Rush Limbaugh, you know, the reason he really got his start on radio, he used to just be a regular DJ where he played records, and he was always a Republican. He's never changed at all. And it was, I can't remember what president or what was, but one of the government has changed a rule in radio that you have to allow both sides to be played equally on the radio. Yes, and this is true. So once they allow, saying if you're going to have almost a 24-hour channel on liberalism, then you're going to have to allow republicanism to have their channel. And once they open that up, Rush Limbaugh was able to talk what he wanted to.
Yeah,
he just skyrocketed. But think about it. If you're a Republican, you never had a radio station that's kind of made for you. And here's the first guy, like, it's right out of the chute, like, you know, and the funny thing is, I remember the thing is the people who passed that law, a lot of them were liberal. So in a lot of ways, they created Rush Limbaugh because they gave them the power to say, hey, he has to be on just like you, just like race. You got to have a certain amount of whites, blacks, Asians. It's like, you know.
I loved Rush Limbaugh. Guys, I didn't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with everything anybody says for the most part. I always think of myself as the smartest man in the room. And you guys should think of yourselves as the smartest person in the room, or you'll always be pushed around. But Rush Limbaugh, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him immensely. The way he talked. Again, didn't agree, but I loved his style. I'm sad a little bit, dude. He's one of the icons, man. Again, I like how you compared him to Howard Stern. It's just another old, you know, bird that knew how to talk, man. Just damn. Yeah,
I mean, they didn't talk about the normal stuff on radios. They talked what they wanted to, and they made a career out of it.
Yeah. Well, he was part of the system. Everybody's part of the fucking system. I haven't met anybody who's not part of the system yet.
I mean, Art Bell. You could say Art Bell is part of that.
Part of the system.
Part of that crew of if you agree with them or not, they created a platform for it. So if you have a Mount Rushmore of radio people, you probably have to have Rush Limbaugh, if you like him or not, doesn't matter. Howard Stern and Art Bell, and I don't know who else. I mean, there's so many people, but
maybe Glenn Beck. I'm not a fan at all, but I'm not putting people down, so I would.
Yeah,
Glenn.
Glenn Beck. I would consider him like part of the second tier. Like Howard Stern, Rush Limbaugh. They're part of the first tier. And then you have the second and third tier.
Alex Jones, which just took it to the dirtiest end of the stick.
And then you got the modern day. What's that guy?
Joe Rogan. You got Joe Rogan.
The modern day fourth tier. The fourth. Yeah,
then you got us, Eric. Then you got us.
Who we're no fucking tiers.
Yeah,
we're not even on a radar, Yeah.
Then you got us, you and me, the Wood Boys.
We don't have a tier.
We don't have a tier yet.
we should have a tier.
You guys out there in our sidebar and watching live, you are our tier. You guys are it.
You guys are our tier.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for bringing that up. That was kind of a fun filler.
I watched that. I watched that on the news, and and I know a lot of people said. I know when Trump gave him that medal, and people say, "Why'd he give it to him?" Well, I mean, for radio, he did change the face of radio. I mean, Howard Stern should be getting a president medal too, changing the face of radio. I mean,
it's a strange medal, Eric. Now, again, we're not trying to shift gears outside of the crystal skull.
We'll get right back to it.
But can you look it up? Can you take 2 seconds and look up what medal he got? That medal is a for me, I'm misremembering. I don't ever remember this medal existing in my fucking reality. I'm just for myself. It just means I'm ignorant. That's all that means. So look up that medal, and because there was a lot of people that really shocked me, and I think I did a video on this medal. It never existed.
They got the Medal of Freedom.
The Medal of Freedom. Yeah, there was the Medal of Freedom, which I had never heard of. Now, for me, the Medal of Honor is upside down. That's just me. That's how I remember it. I remember it the other direction. The Medal of Honor is now upside down. The Medal of Freedom is another thing. I don't know. I'm not privy to that information. And there seemed to be a lot of people, Eric, who got this Medal of Freedom.
Yeah.
See, he got the Medal of Freedom. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's just like
Medal of Freedom.
I don't even remember that shape. The star, the white star with the red.
No.
There's a closer.
Yeah, I asked you, Eric, with Medal of Freedom? Eric's like, huh? What are you talking about? Medal of Freedom, right? What? Anybody out to the Medal of Freedom? Anybody? This thing just popped up for me out of nowhere, and it's been around for a while. A lot of people have gotten it, and now back to Rush Limbaugh, which got the Medal of Freedom. Okay, there it is. I don't know what the criteria is to get the Medal of Freedom that didn't exist in my reality.
Remember, the president now, Biden has gotten one too.
Biden got the Medal of Freedom
from Obama.
From Hussein Obama, and I think Michael put it on him, or Michael or his husband, wife, whatever, put it on his neck. Yeah, Biden got the Medal of Freedom.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's the first time, like, oh, there's a Medal of Freedom.
And again, not to change the subject, guys, I'm still waiting to see if our ex-president Trump gets knighted by the Queen, because we have a large majority of presidents that had been knighted by the Queen of England, which is weird for me, which means because the R rate's negative and they're all related. So, they got knighted. Now, I want to see if Trump gets knighted by the Queen. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be knighted by the Queen, by the way. Medal of Freedom, Rush Limbaugh. Salute, buddy. All right.
We gotta go play some ping pong. Shirley Morrison. I'm hanging in all these snow. Otherwise, got a ping pong table to play with and all good people to learn from. Oh, and my dog to feed and take out the snow.
Nothing wrong with that, man. It's sunny over here. It's actually kind of warm. It's kind of weird. Everybody else is fucked, but
I know.
I left England and it's got freezing cold and it started to snow. I get here, it's snowing, and then now the next day it's cleared up and nice and warm.
I know. It's like the strangest. I mean, it's just guys. Bob's not joking. Just look at this, guys. Just last Friday. Hold on.
Yeah.
Just last Friday. Hold on. Where is it?
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's sunny and nice. And
guys, look. This is like 3 days ago. And look behind Bob. And look at this. This was just 3 days ago. This was my backyard that Bob's sitting in.
Now it's beautiful. You see, when I show up, the sun comes with me, Eric. That's the thing. As soon as I hit the Northwest, the sun came. It likes me over here. As soon as I left England, freezing cold temperatures, frigid, and snow. As soon as I got here, snow went away.
I mean, it's just so weird that we get this out of nowhere, and then like you look outside, there's like no evidence of just maybe little patches.
I know. It's good you took that feeling, man. That's exactly it. A lot of people are experiencing that.
And what's this? It's snowing hard again in East Texas. Hey, Queen of Swords.
Sorry, guys.
I wanted to ask Queen of Swords because she's in Texas. I saw something on the news that because it's so frozen that the section where they make power, and I guess it's I can't remember. It's some kind of solar kind of a thing, but it's so cold that it can't make power. So there's like there's like I don't know 500,000 people since a week that can't get power. You know what that is, Queen of Swords? What that is? Where there's a section of Texas that can't get power because it's too cold.
Wow. Yeah. You know, I feel bad. I know. I think it was scary performances in Texas. Dan, I think he's probably having to burn garbage in trash cans to stay warm. I know a lot of people are probably having to burn trash cans to stay warm in their house. Be careful, guys. You guys can get a house fire. We just recently had a colleague friend of ours that had a house fire. So, you know, be careful, man, especially in these times when the apocalypse is here, because if you're a bad person, then your shit might burn down.
I'm wrong. It's millions without power in Texas.
Yeah.
Cold snap throttles energy supply and electric grid.
Shit, man. I bet a lot of guys are burning garbage out of trash cans over there.
A winter storm.
They want.
Nearly 3 million outages as of Wednesday afternoon, leaving residents in the cold and dark for several days. Wow.
It's fine. I feel bad. It's so nice. Everywhere I go is nice. I want experience with that. Shit,
there's no warmer global warming at all. I don't know,
man. This reminds me of the day. Was it The Day After? Was that movie they called The Day After?
The Day After, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
The Day After. This is just like the movie The Day After. A lot of you guys are gonna be frozen into place.
There it is. There are a huge solar plant by my home, but they are covered in snow. Many people without power.
Oh, wow. No, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make jokes. I'm feeling bad. No,
but I mean, let me ask. I mean, is it because maybe this area is not used to getting snow? Because I would think if it's an area that does get snow from time to time, wouldn't they make something where the solar panels don't get snow on top?
I don't think they're used to getting snow.
Maybe. Or, do they not spray like
it's like Texas
dry oil, make sure the things slide off or throw salt? I don't know.
It's like Texas, man. Texas don't get snow. It's fucking weird.
People without power are bugging out of their neighborhoods with power sharing heat.
Yeah. You guys can take dumpsters or garbage cans and just burn wood in them and burn fire. I mean, I'm sure. I guess a lot of people over there are doing it.
We had
Fire.
we were still kind of new to the state of Seattle. And
Yeah.
I remember, Bob, we had a huge storm that knocked out power a few days, and we had a barbecue. We just
Barbecue.
out in the snow. We were just cooking, and
Yes.
everybody was like, "We need to get food." Like, got a barbecue, right? Just
Yeah, barbecue.
food.
Yeah, we barbecued. I think we put out some inflatable palm trees, and then we also drank spiced wine, a warm spiced wine. Remember that? We added cinnamon to it. You add a little bit of like apple cider and cinnamon to it. Oh man, it was delicious.
Wow, look at this. They're
Wow.
charging $200 for 1/4 a cord of wood. Normal $200 for a whole.
Oh no
Oh man,
way.
man. Hey, that's not how, everybody always says, you got to help your neighbors when you're down, right? We all got to help each other out, right? And then they're charging more, and you're seeing it everywhere. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't care about Seattle politics, but Seattle just passed something for the stores to have to pay their workers, no matter what, an extra $4 an hour, up to 15. And I'm not saying what's right or wrong. People, I always want people to get more money, but because of these people making these decisions, two QFC stores are now closing down because they can't afford it. So it's like, I wonder, is everybody doing their research properly? I mean, is it the store that are greedy, or are they really losing money and they can't afford it? And now, instead of helping out your workers, you're putting 300-400 people unemployed.
Yeah, because there a lot of people, especially back home, they were doing the online food orders, or food was getting delivered. And so there's certain stores that had cornered the market on delivering food. And so the mom and pop ones are going under. Again, with the online stuff, again, with the whole, I'm not saying this is the reset, man, but God damn it if it doesn't feel like it sometimes. Everybody's online and everybody's ordering stuff brought to the doors. And here we go again.
Can barbecue food not have barbecue taste? Can barbecue food? Well, I mean, I'm trying to think. What's considered like canned barbecue food? Like beans that says barbecue flavor?
I would think maybe a pot of soup would probably constitute as not having a barbecue, unless you put the lid on top and you cook it with wood. I cook with wood. Eric likes the gas. I like the wood. If you're cooking with gas, yeah.
We are in a state of emergency. Price gouging is a crime. Oh, it is. It is. Bob and I was talking about the other day. I was telling him how I was updating Bob on Seattle politics when he got back, and I was telling him how all these lawmakers in the city council of Seattle has decided to try to cut 50% off of all police, firemen, 50% off, let's cut their funding 50%. And it's and I was talking about, it's like, they should make these people who make these laws to have to go to their boot camp, to have to ride out with the cops and police, firemen for like 3 months or 4 months, so they can understand where the money goes, because these people live in gated communities, right? So by cutting their funds, don't affect them, but everybody else gets affected, and the people get affected the most. It's not technically the cops, because you need them. It's the secretaries, it's the 9/11 workers, it's everybody else around them, all lose their jobs. So who are making these rules and laws? And the president, it's nice to get stimulus checks, but part of the problem is the reason we need stimulus checks is you're gouging prices.
The price,
bacon, $9,
$8,
$9. If bacon was just $3, we might not need a stimulus check, right?
Yeah. Let me tell you guys, we're off subject, but anyway, we'll go back to it. Now, remember, I went to school for anthropology, archaeology. So anthropology, I've been overseas in Europe, and then I come back over here, and I tell Eric exactly what I'm seeing. And Eric and I had went to the store, and I was like, I'm a steak guy. So we went straight to the meat section. Eric says, you're not going to believe what you're going to see right now. I said, how bad is it? I went over to look at some steaks, and it was $15 to $16 for this.
What?
For this steak.
For one steak.
I said, dude, I was in a little bit of a shock because I just came out of Europe now, and we're talking England and part of other parts of Europe with the EU. I said, dude, this is a $3 steak back home. This is a $3. This is a buck. This is a buck steak. This is a $3. This package of chicken overseas is about $3 to $4 pounds or whatever your euros. I said, this is what is going on here in the United States of America? I said, I'm looking at the prices. I went to get a can of chili. It was $2 a can of chili. And I said, back in over there, dude, this is under a pound. This is about 60 cents.
Yeah.
The coffee. Over there, you drink instant coffee. I went and looked at the instant coffee we can get for 3 pounds, $2, $3. It was 15 to 13 or the $13 to $15 for the same size. I said, oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
2 ribeye steaks. 2 ribeye steaks, $35. It's almost like it's cheaper to go to Outback than to buy it for a home, right? Everybody says home cooking is better than restaurants. Well, right now it's cheaper to go to a restaurant than it is to buy food for your home.
Yeah.
Says you got to eat right. You should start eating organic. Well, the prices of an organic steak, $20 a steak.
Eric, I went overseas, guys, back at the EU and back at the other place overseas. Now, the vegetables, I got a bag of potatoes for 50p, which is 50 cents. You come over here, it's $3 to $4, a small bag of potatoes, and if not, they're up to $7 to $8. I come back every 6 months. And I come back and I do my circulation, I do my notes. I said, Eric, 6 months ago, dude, the prices are been jacked up by $2 to $3 on a lot of items. But I don't know, a lot of you guys probably don't see that because you're just here and living and just experiencing the price gouge. I haven't been here. So I'm telling you guys, shit has been jacked up by a lot.
I don't know where Lala lives. $5 for a small squeezed bottle of mayonnaise and $24 for one steak.
Oh.
You know what I do now? Ketchup. Ketchup is like $3-4, right? So when I go to Costco, I buy this big round metal ketchup, Hunt's ketchup for $3.89, and I take it and I pour into my empty ketchup to do it. I'm serious. Now, you know what, Bob? I'm going to go back to Crystal Skulls for a second because there's a lot of weird numbers here. There's a lot of because like Premium asked, is this still 7 Crystal Skulls? And then I see a few people saying there's 12, and we read that one where there's 13. But
there's 13.
But if I go here, it says 13.
Yeah.
Myths and mysteries. The 13 crystal skull, who made them and why. Intriguing mysteries and eerie. They are real work of art. The crystal skulls have been of great interest in archaeologists and anthropologists who are curious about their existence and purpose.
Let me tell you guys a little bit of story about that. No, I'm going to tell you right now that I went to school for archaeology. You keep hearing me say it, and I do not ever remember them specifically saying there's ever been 13 skulls. However, now, yes, in reality, it is 13 skulls. And so the story comes from the Navajo. And the story is from the Navajo. It's telling you about the 13. So according to the Navajo, the star beings, okay, this is what they call them. This is their culture. This is the native indigenous cultures, the Navajo. They call them star beings. And these star beings arrived from the stars, from the sky, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care what your camp is, flat, round, whatever. They came from outside the firmament, whatever you want to call it. They come down the star beings, and they gave specifically 13, according to the story now, take it with a grain of salt, 13 of crystal skulls, and they were given to the 13 nations. Let me say this again. They were given specifically to the 13 nations across the back of the turtle, across the globe, or if you're a flat earther, across the plane. There was 13 skulls given according to the story from the Navajo. So that's where the 13 skulls come from.
Or, but is it maybe that's just how many we found? Maybe there's more.
Well,
Like,
we don't. I don't think we've found 13. I don't think they've found all of the.
Yeah.
You can't carbon date, and the market is flooded with so many crystal skulls. Everybody's claiming to have the total 13 skull.
Yeah, because Sketch wrote, we want 13. There could be 72. And he's right. There could be 72. I mean,
yeah.
And then out of that 13, like you said, if you can't really technically age them, how do you know if one of these 13 can be considered a real 13?
You don't know. So, and this comes from the Navajo indigenous stories, guys. This is where the 13 number comes from. That's why a lot of people always say the 13th skull. And so when Indiana Jones, when they made the movie, Eric, they used the Navajo. They used the Navajo story of the 13 skulls. So that's the 13. That's where the origin comes from. Go look it up yourself. Debunk the story. Go look up the Navajo the star beings story with the 13 skulls. And there's your answer.
Oh, yeah, because right here, I pulled up archaeology.
Archaeology.
Yeah, archaeology. The legend of the crystal skulls, the truth behind the Indiana Jones latest quest. Yeah, like you said, where the Aztec crystal skull, purported to be part of the Portofilo Diaz collection, was purchased in Mexico in 1960. So like you said,
yeah,
the Aztec, Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're using that part of the story, yeah.
Well, remember the Navajo guys are they're southern America, northern America, New Mexico, all the way down that area. So it's connected right into Mexico, basically Mexico. So Mexico down into the Aztecs, the Mayans, down to South America, Incas, all of them, all of the cultures, they seem to have had this crystal skull. So they talked about 13 tribes. Now, remember, wasn't there like 13 tribes of Israel or of Israelites? Isn't there 13 tribes? I mean, is that what's going on with this? So the Navajo story lines up with the 13 tribes of I'm not saying it is. I'm just trying to group things together to make it sound cool. So that's just the lost 10 tribes, the lost 13 tribes, or they're not lost 13 tribes, but the lost 11 tribes. I don't know. But yeah, the 13 tribes all had one crystal skull apiece, according to the sky gods. And what's with why? What is the crystal skull? You remember Hewlett Packard, the computer company, did a test on the skulls and found out that the crystal itself, the silica, is the same material they use to make computers. So your cell phone has the same building blocks and material as a crystal skull. That's how they store X's and O's. They store our ones and zeros. Ones and zeros are stored on silica, on your cell phones, in your computers, all the computers. Eric, remember 5G? Silica. Silica is in everything. So these crystal skulls basically came around before 5G. So 5G is silica. It's basically, if you took a crystal skull and you turn them into spaghetti and then you put it into the fiber optics, well, you have the same same technology.
Yeah.
The same thing.
And here's another in the Mandela Effect world, George Lucas created Raiders of the Lost Ark. And why it's so important that he created the Crystal Skulls part of the movie, because if you remember in Raiders of the Lost Ark, here's a picture right here from this article of the idol, the South American idol.
Yeah.
And if you remember,
yes,
this idol, guys, if you remember, if you're into the Mandela Effect world, you will know that the South idol was a shape of a man. Stop right there, Eric. Stop right. We don't want to give them the answer yet. Okay, let's do a survey, dude. Hold on. How many of you in the sidebar
remember the idol from Indiana Jones being a man. And why is Eric 100% convinced that this is now a female? Can you also write in the sidebar why it is a female now? What makes it a female opposed to a male? Because you can't just look at it and say, well, obviously it's a male or obviously it's a female. How do you know? How do you know it's a female? So somebody write in the sidebar before we.
And then we're trying to find a bigger picture.
Yes.
Of this idol so they can see it.
Well, first question is, do you remember him being a female or a male? Now, I remember, and I misremember everything. Ask Tony. He's in the sidebar. I'm the biggest misrememberer of all. I think I'm from another whole fucking
Never watched the movie? Oh, come on. No way. Well, I mean, if you never watched the movie.
It's his job. He's got to be a skeptic. He's his job. Don't mess with that man. He's supposed to be a skeptic. For the other people that don't have to play that role, have to practice that role, you guys remember if it's a man or a female. Do you remember? And why? And again, let's debunk it. Why do you remember it's a male? Why do you remember?
School with no machine marks at all. They had no clue as how they might have been created. And in the beginning of the show, Tom, that's what we were talking about. How were these things even made without scratches, without cracks, when they don't even have the kind of tools that we have nowadays?
Obviously, to me, it's
just another idol. Okay,
that's fine. That's good.
Over 20 years. That's fair.
That's fair. We're debunking, so you guys are perfectly fine to say those things. It actually helps. It helps when we say this.
No idea. Okay. Hey, at least they're honest. You know.
Thank you for being honest. It helps.
Go on the bandwagon, like, well, what do they think? Oh, I remember that too. No, you don't. No, you don't. We planted the seed, and you're taking the seed like you were always part of it. No, you were not.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I'm going to show you guys a bigger picture of this idol, and let's see if you guys see anything that will change your mind.
Wah, wah. Oh, little baby, bambino. Oh, this got a baby. The idol has a baby. Oh.
Now there's the idol. You guys notice anything in this idol?
Now, to me, that used to be a masculine male, and now it's feminine features. Everything's switched. It's a female. It's a woman.
Look,
not only a woman, but it's got breasticles.
Yep, between the legs is giving birth.
It's giving birth.
Idol's giving birth. There's a little baby coming out of the woman right here.
I don't remember that.
I remember that in the original Raiders. Maybe it was always there. Like I said, it's not like I was staring at it, but it's kind of weird knowing that there's an idol having a little baby coming out of it.
Now it's developed breasts, and now this idol also has female body parts, and she's giving birth.
It has long hair now.
It has long hair now, correct. Also, the Mona Lisa has long hair now, too. Just going to bring that out.
Oh my God, that's funny. This is funny. Looks like a trainee.
Yes, you could be right on that one. However, this tranny would be sitting on a baby then because it's giving birth. Yes. So the idol is now giving birth. Now, you guys be respectful.
And I don't remember the butt having shape.
No, it's got all female attributes. We're trying to keep this family friendly. So it's got breasticles, it's got buttocles. She's having a child, and she's in childbirth. She's producing the child as we speak. It's giving birth. So if you guys look close, you see the baby between the legs there. You see the baby. Baby, and you see the larger. I've watched the breast grow and grow and grow. I've made a video about this a long time ago, and I go, dude, did you see the size of the gazongas on her now? On that idol, the gazongas are here.
How much is this? $1,575 community auction. God, people are outrageous.
I pay so much.
Raiders of the Lost Ark poster, $650 used. Oh my God! What is
again, try to remain family friendly, but yes, this is a female now, and she's actually giving birth. So you guys know. Not that we're off the subject, but it's on Indiana Jones. We thought it'd be kind of interesting to see.
Well, what is interesting, like I'm saying, we're making a connection on how a lot of this stuff is being seen by George Lucas. You
Yes.
know, the Star Wars, the Howard the Ducks, the
Yeah.
Willow. I mean, it's
yes. Trying to put it back to George Lucas. Anything that it's like Tom Hanks. Whatever Tom Hanks touches, it seems to have a change to it, or something happens to, or people misremember things for whatever illusion it's going on. Same thing with the director of all these wonderful movies. Yeah, they're all changing, or they are giving the appearance of, as Tony would say, the appearance of changes for some people. So it's up to you guys to believe it or not. Believe it or not. And it's your job to debunk.
What does it mean in relation to this world?
That's the question.
That's the question.
So Preliminal, what you want to do is pick up your piece of paper. Don't listen to other people. Write it down and give it your own shot, man. Give it your own thought. See what you think. Put it away. Sit on it for a while. Come back to it. Change your mind. You got to figure it out. Why? Why did she change to a woman? Why did the Statue of Liberty change to a man? If you want to go with Tony's everybody's a tranny theory, that's the easiest one. Or they just seem to be switching sexes all of a sudden. I don't know why. Your guys' choice. But yeah. Or you could go on everybody's a tranny, which is plausible also.
But just look.
Here we go.
Detail of a crystal skull. I mean, it's just magnificent art.
Beautiful. Okay, so people understand they didn't have metal tools back in South America. They use rocks. They use specific types of rock for weaponry, for tools, for all their stuff was lithics. They were a lithic culture. They didn't have, well, they had metal. I'm going to take it back. They had gold and they had soft metals. But, but for the 90% of their work, obviously all came from using lithics. So understand that baskets, weaving, lithics, pottery, things from the soil, but they weren't smithing 100% iron and other metals. Gold, yes, it's got a lower melting temperature. Gold smelts at a very low temperature, so any culture can manipulate gold. It's anybody, children in first grade can make gold things. It's got like lead. It's got a low melting temperature, but no irons and shit like that. It's lithics. So they took a piece of crystal and used lithics. They used rock, lithics means rock. They use rocks to shape it. How?
Well, you already kind of answered this. Where did the crystal skulls come from? All are believed to originate from Mexico, Central America, like you said. Many believe these skulls were carved thousands or even 10,000s of years by an ancient civilization. What is the meaning of crystal skulls? Now, July 10, 2019, crystal skulls have surged in popularity, especially in recent times. Some use skulls as a decorative piece around the home. Well,
yeah,
furniture. I mean, it's no different than having a plastic skull, or you're a heavy metal kid. You got, that ain't nothing. So, but now self-healing. Well, yeah, because of the quartz, the energy that we talked about earlier, that makes sense. Now, where are the crystal skulls located now? It's been established that the crystal skulls in the British Museum were originally sold by French dealer Eugene Bobin was operating in Mexico City between 1860 and 1880. So in London, you can go to the British Museum and they have most of the crystal skulls there. How do you activate a crystal skull? Well, I guess first of all, you got to have one, right?
Yeah.
Now, to activate it, hold your crystal skull in your hand in front of your heart. Ask the crystal skull be cleared of any all programming, and that it works for the light, for the highest good of all. Connect to a feeling of unconditional love in your heart. Send this love and joy to the crystal. So apparently, if you guys got a crystal, Charlie, you just got here. Now, Charlie, if you have a crystal skull, you put it by your heart and talk love to it. Believe love with the light, and that's where you get the most out of it.
Yes. Yes. Well, it goes back to yesterday's show when we found out, which was new for me, that Einstein, Einstein, or I call him Einstein. Einstein went ahead and talked about the universal force. This is way before George Lucas. The universal magical force, energy force, is love.
Oh, hold on, Prima said exactly what you said earlier in the show. Quartz skulls have no carbon; they can't be dated.
Correct.
Yes, Bob brought that up beginning of the show that you don't know how old they are. So I'm sorry, Bob.
And so the universal force is love. So Eric's talking about taking the skull, putting it by your heart, and putting all positive emotion into it. I'm sure that's how you activate it. That's according to what it's telling you to do. If you put it at your crotch area, I guess that's a red light. I guess that's red. It's not good, I guess. I don't know. Green, get whatever, red's at the bottom. I don't know. So put it next to your heart and then put love into it.
Yeah. Dark Glasses Woody. I was thinking about that while watching a documentary. You hinted at your theory, but never came right out and said it as you just did. Applause. Yeah, there's different theories. You should listen to all theories. Listen to all and try to find out what theories sound the same almost. Because if you put a lot, each, like Bob's saying, each theory has its own codes. But sometimes you gather enough code, you might actually discover the real theory. In theory. The real theory in theory.
In theory, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The Mona Lisa hair is longer.
Yes, to me.
Okay. We talked about Mona Lisa last week, I think.
Yes. I know her smile was not a smile and wasn't exactly not a smile, but now it's a fucking smile. Yes, it's a smile. It's more like I have a secret you guys don't know about smile. Before it was like a cat that ate the fucking mouse or the cat that ate the bird, that smirk. It's like it knows something you don't.
Now, Bob, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Tony wrote, he read that carbon dating could be a scam as well.
Carbon dating is limited. It is. He's correct in the fact that it is a scam, and it's easy to fuck up the results. It's so your own hair or the boogers from your nose, or if you have a beard, anything, your own skin that falls on an object, if you're not wearing a complete NASA white suit, can skew data. For example, for Tony, if you guys look at the Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin was carbon dated several times, and they're having all these arguments about the carbon dating with the Shroud of Turin. The problem with the Shroud of Turin was they did all their research into a bathroom. That's right, a toilet. So their research lab was given to them as only the space they had available to do the Shroud of Turin was in a bathroom. Bathrooms filled with carbon. Lots of carbon waste, if you know what I'm talking about. So carbon will fuck up anything. So when you do carbon dating, you're gambling. Again, it could be a fraud. It depends on who's doing it. It's easy to fuck up carbon dating. Very, very, very. It's your own spit when you're talking can fuck up carbon dating. So yeah, it is sort of a fraud. It's solid in science that if they do it correctly, you'll have an idea, but not a date. You understand? They're burning it. They're burning carbon and looking at certain things where they're burning carbon. You tell me when you look at the techniques that it's 100%. It's not. People don't talk about carbon dating as just a 30,000 years old. No, it's 30,000 years old plus and you have a plus number and a minus number. That plus number can be several hundred years. The minus number can be several hundred years. So yeah, it's a skewed method. So it's a mixed bag on that one. Yeah, there you go.
Huh. No, I'm intrigued here because Shelly was asking a question. Eric, could you please tell me if you've heard or watched the show Heller? They speak it in Penny Royal Crest in the largest crystal deposits. There goes West Virginia. And I just looked it up on IMDb.
Oh,
Apparently, it's a TV series. A small crew of paranormal researchers find themselves in a dying coal town, where a series of strange leads them into decades of old mystery. Huh? And it's 2019, and it's on Hulu Prime. I have Hulu Prime. I've never watched this. I've never seen this. I've never even heard of this, Shelly. There's so many different shows on. It's hard to know what's even on anymore. But I tell you what, Shelly, Bob always saying to myself, like, I don't know what to watch sometimes. Now you gave us something to check out. So it's called Hellier. I'm gonna write that down so I can.
yeah, I'm gonna write it down.
Right.
Too. Write it down, Hellier. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm writing it down right now. I love hearing people's opinions.
When I'm at Eric's used to be a cable guy, so he's got hundreds of channels. I go through, and it is important. Don't watch TV. Yeah, okay, don't watch. But however, if you're going to watch something, try to look for certain weird things and clues and truth drops and stuff like that. It seems to be really dominant at the moment. So I do encourage people to put in certain movies that you've seen something weird about. Like Eric talked about the movie End Times last night, and I watched it last night, and I was like blown away with a lot of
games.
End of
days. Yeah,
it was really good. A lot of truth drops, and so I'm gonna write this down. Hellier.
Well, sometimes it's fun that everybody says, "How should you watch a movie?" I always say, when you first watch a movie, watch it all the way through
with notes.
But no notes yet. Just watch the movie all the way through, and then once you're done, watch it again with a notebook.
Yes,
because if you're watching a pausing, it kind of ruins the effect of the movie. But once you watch it, you kind of got an image what the movie's about, and then when you watch it again, it's easier to catch those clues because you're remembering. Oh, there's my dog in the backyard. I see the dog back there, and it's easier to get clues.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and says End of Days was good truth. I mean, End of Days is surprisingly. I forgot how good it was.
Really?
A satanic movie, right? You're not thinking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it did go together pretty well. And Arnold made the ultimate sacrifice by sacrificing himself for the good of Jesus and God, I guess.
Yes. It's
if you're into religion, right? Isn't that the most ultimate sacrifice you could do? Sacrifice yourself.
That was a really good. Yeah, I like that idea. But yeah, I'm gonna watch Hellier. Oddly enough, dude, I got some other weird information I'm gonna bring up here. And this is weird. Tesla, guys. Tesla. For those of you that know Tesla actually had comments about the crystal skull, and I'm like, I don't remember Tesla ever talking about crystal skulls, but here we are, right? So here we go. So this is all research. So according to what I've researched, what I've read, plus people from England helping me out with the research, thank God for England. God save the Queen. How many people just shouted that one out? Anyway, he said, okay, this is what Tesla said. He said, pure evidence, said that we have pure evidence of the existence of a formative life principle. And although in spite of everything, we cannot understand life of crystals because it is a living being. Now, Tesla said, let me see this again. Tesla said that crystals are living. He says that they're living. You can't prove that they're not living, which I'm like, Tesla said that they're living beings. Crystals are living. Again, Tesla said we have pure evidence of existence of a formative life principle. And although in spite of everything, we cannot understand life of crystals, it's a living being. That's exactly what he said. So Tesla, if you want to translate it any way you want to, this is how he wrote it. So it's your interpretation of what he means by that. He's convinced that crystals are a living being. It's part of the ether. It's like a frozen part of the ether within a hand's grasp away. You could pick up and inside of it has stored information of O's and ones or whatever. You could see the future, you could see the past, because the thing about silica, and the reason why we use silica in a lot of our equipment, guys, especially in 5G, Eric will tell you about all this, is that silica has one important thing other than metals. Silica is a cold fusion. Silica can take energy and keep it cool. As in, if I have a piece of iron, Eric, if you put electricity to this piece of iron, what's going to happen to my hand? What's going to happen to the iron? I'm going to get electrocuted, and the iron's going to get very, very, very hot, right? Like your hot iron, like it's a DC current. It's going to glow red hot if you put direct energy into that bar of metal. You put it into the crystal, you've got cold fusion, cold. It can hold energy and not be hot. That's why, Eric, 5G. You worked on the things. It's all fiber, right? Fiber optics, fiber. It's crystal or silica.
And remember, Tesla was also intrigued by the pyramids.
He was intrigued by the pyramids, and I'm sure that maybe these skulls. There was probably a skull inside of each of these large pyramid structures, because now that we know, going back to archaeology presently, that there was in fact journeys and trips from Europe, from the mainland all the way to the Americas way before recorded time. Way before. So they were you had Vikings in the United States way before anybody else. You had Europeans in the United States, in the Americas, you would call them. South America. We've got evidence for them we got evidence of people migrating all over the fucking place now. They could easily carry a skull from Europe.
Yeah.
Easily, there it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this article says it, why Nikola assessed with the Egyptian pyramids, and it talks about Nikola Tesla had numerous unusual obsessions. So he had more than one. One of his beliefs was that the Great Pyramids of Egypt were giant transmitters of energy.
Yes.
He built Tesla towers according to the laws inspired by studying the pyramids. I mean, this tells you that he was also looking outside the box.
Yeah, they were. That's one of my main ones too. They were power stations, and so it would behave them, whatever, to have a crystal skull in a pyramid, because it could take all that power. It could take energy in. So you could have stored energy. It's the same thing in your cell phones when you have your communicate and you're storing information on your computers. It's the same thing with storing information on any device. You did it in silica, and then crystal is made of silica. And so it's basically a handheld fucking memory bank of whatever you put into it. So they talk about what's his name, the famous seer that could see the future, Nostradamus.
Yeah,
was even known to have a crystal ball. A crystal ball. A lot of early alchemists had crystal balls. Same chemistry, guys. Same thing. It's a crystal ball, and they were able to look into it and see the future. Same thing with crystal skulls. It's the same technology and concept idea. So, they store as energy, cold fusion, whatever.
It's all about clean energy, easy, fast way, and they're all looking for. It's no different than when Germany used to send all their Nazi people all around the world to find these ancient religious stuff or this and this, because they're looking for ways to cheat the system. Get power, talk to God. That's history.
Yes, preliminary. Yes,
everybody was cheating.
Look up information on Tesla and crystal skull. Yeah, he talked about it. don't remember him ever talking about anything like a crystal skull. But yes, he did. He did talk about the crystal skull. He talked about it being a living thing. I just read it twice, so I don't want to read it again. But it's not alive, or it's not dead. He talks about it being alive. Silica being alive. Now, remember, your body has silica, people. And remember, your body is filled with silica. Not only do you have silica in your body, don't forget that your third eye, your pineal gland is silica. Your little ass pineal gland is a little fucking piece of silica. Yes. Storing information just like a crystal skull. It's this big though. So your brain has a little piece of silica in it, little fucking thing of silica. It stores information just like your cell phone, just like your computers and your electronics in your own fucking head hole. You're basically a walking computer. Yeah, that's where I think ghosts come from. When a person's dead, they're actually really dead, but there's a memory of them in the silica inside the brain. So when you're actually talking to a dead person, you're actually talking to a broken down old computer. You're just getting memories of whatever that body was at one time. It's not a real person. It's just a memory.
We just don't know. I mean, it's all out there.
You got just as much silica in your body as you do in a cell phone, guys. Even a corpse. Your corpse has got a lot of silica in it. You guys don't know that, but your corpse has a lot of silica, a lot of crystal in your body. So even when you're dead, you've got stored information in your body, and you got stored information in those crystal skulls. A big ass subject. It's enjoyable too.
No, it's God. There's so many. It's hard to even research because I mean, you type in crystal skulls. Look at this website, crystalskulls.com. There's actually a crystalskull.com.
What do they say?
There's like different categories. Crystal skull AMAR. The hell's that? Well, they talk a rare crystal skull from Tibet. So they have a lot of different cool. Look, a crystal skull news. They even got. It's kind of a cool little website.
Well, he mentioned the crystal skull named Max, and that crystal skull was rumored to speak. It actually spoke.
I'm putting this webpage in the if anybody else wants to check it out. Ancient Crystal Skull Rainbow. Look at that.
Yeah. Now remember, guys, it refracts color. Color is from photons. Photons are just particles from whatever you want to call that thing. So if it captures photons, okay, it captures particles, electrical particles, and contains them inside of its crystal catalyst skull. It's storing information. So, and you got to understand what rainbow colors are in there. What is in there? All the colors of the rainbow are be found in there. And they do everything. Remember, when you see a green plant, the color. It's actually rejecting the color green, and it's accepting the opposite color, which is purple. I believe it's purple. So technically, plants are purple. If you have a green plant, it's purple. It's accepting the color purple, not green. It's rejecting green on the color scale. It's green is its poop. It's getting rid of the green. That's why you see green with your eye holes, but it's actually accepting purple. So these crystal skulls are accepting colors from whatever photons and radiation that's being blasted everywhere outside. God. Imagine what you could see inside those things.
Yeah.
Wow. I want one now. I want to see them.
Events. Oh, they got an event coming up. Well, I'm sure all events got canceled because there was an event on December 21st, but of course, all events got canceled. Who knows?
Yeah,
we'll ever have events. But I guess this website even tells you when they have these next Crystal Skull events. It's kind of cool knowing that there's world conferences and festivals about crystal skulls. I mean, it's bigger than we think it is, really. I mean,
yeah.
It's just something that we don't really think of. And I think if Travel Channel's watching, they should send us when they actually have the next world conference. Send us there. We'll give you a good review.
I'll look right into its eyes.
Yeah.
Eye holes. I will look into its eye holes and stare into it.
Now I like old crystal skulls. Well, technically, shouldn't all crystal skulls be old?
Right.
Old crystal skulls, 100 to 1,500 years old. Stone clear quartz. Origin Tibet. Oh, so this one kind of breaks down
Oh,
each skull. It's kind of cool. The Almar is, but here's the one that's in the British Museum. Origin Aztec. It's in Europe. Of course, it's quartz. Then you got the ones down here. Origin Mexico. Paris Musk. So this actually have the different names of the quartz
oh, cool.
and where the origin's from. Mexico, white quartz. So that's kind of cool. You got the mid-size quartz. Australia 23 rare. I don't know. That's rare. Look at that one.
Wow.
It says Canada, Austria. Arylite 23 is a very rare and a unique crystal found only within the Boreal forest of the Canadian Shield in Thunder Bay.
So these were found. These are artifacts, huh? They're found specifically in the location where the crystal is made.
Yeah.
Made or into the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, look how many are there. I mean, there's a lot here. It's like, holy Christ. This is like the holy grail of all blue quartz. You click on it. Here's blue quartz crystal skull.
Blue quartz. Wow, that's beautiful. Holy shit.
Meteorite crystal skulls.
Meteorite crystal skulls.
Rare Tikit crystal skull from meteors.
Huh.
But look at the artwork. I mean, just look at it. On February 15, 2013, humans witnessed the magnitude of the tremendous power of the cosmos as a meteorite exploded in the skies above Russia.
Yeah.
It is very rare that a meteorite actually hit the Earth, which makes them extremely hard to find. It is even rarer to find meteorites and Tikities, meteorites of space glass, that are large enough for carving crystal skulls because of three-dimensional carving such as a skull requires a large nuggets of meteorite. So this meteorite over Russia, they had enough glass in it so they can make a crystal skull out of it. I mean, who thinks of that stuff, right? A meteorite got enough glass. Let's make a skull out of it. I mean, who?
Well, they're full of shit, number one, because most meteorites are actually, well, if they real, but whatever. They're mostly high metals. They're
I like that. Wow, Matrix throwing all kinds of crystal skull stuff now.
Right? It is throwing a lot out there. Exactly. That's what I said. But yeah, no, it would be mostly metal. So the Tunguska blast, which is up in Siberia, melted the soil. The soil was high silica. So what it did was it melted the soil at a hot temperature and made glass.
But you know why this is all bullshit? Look at this sentence. Just a few months earlier, a piece of Mars discovered by meteor hunters in Morocco had been confirmed as real by NASA and was selling for up to $22,500 an ounce.
Bullshit.
Times the price of gold.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
I'd be like, hold on, 22,000 an ounce, and so that thing's 5 ounces, whatever it is. How do I know that's really from Mars?
They don't know.
A meteorite. Now, how do you know that meteorite? What did this meteorite, like? Is it a piece of rock from Mars that took off and flew, and you know that meteorite was exactly from Mars? I mean,
well, the way the mechanics works is an asteroid would have had to smash into Mars back in the day, and chunks of rot dirt, rocks, dirt, and debris would have had to went up into the upper spheres, caught into the whatever upper spheres where it was enough further out to not be controlled by gravity, and then kind of leak itself into the spaces, and then make its way all the way without burning up, because it would be high iron, which basically means to be floating molten metal. And no.
I like what Tony says. Comes with tag made in Mars instead of China.
Right? I don't think so. I just don't think. I can't see a large meteor hitting fucking Mars hard enough to throw debris up that far to make it all the way to Earth without it blowing up, melting, or burning up in the atmosphere. And I'm using the narrative that NASA fed us by using their own mechanics to say it can't happen.
Or it can be from Venus, and PTSB says it's from Mars.
Yeah, I mean, Venus is supposed to be our sister planet, the closest to Earth. Yeah. Now, remember now, guys, so you guys know, just so you know, whatever the narrative is, right now, every 2 years, Mars is the closest it can be to Earth. That's why everybody right now, including the Arabs are on Mars right now, Eric. The Arabs, well, they're going to be there in the 22nd, I believe it is. So the Arabs, China, and the United States are all on Mars right now.
It's kind of an ugly skull right here.
Where is that one? What's that made of?
What's tiger eye? Tiger eye crystal skull, shipping and handling. Oh, shipping and handling. Oh, great.
How much
here?
How much does that cost?
2.5, $90. That one sold out. The 2.5 size.
Yeah.
The 2 size, a blue tiger eye crystal skull for $60. Buy now. Ooh, look at that big sucker.
Yeah. So these are all manufactured for.
Yeah. These are all these are. Yeah, I think so. But look, tiger iron.
Iron what? These are just mantelpieces. But again, with the alchemists of the day, everybody, they would have these solid crystal balls. If I would recommend a crystal ball in a shaped up crystal skull.
Crystal healing stones, the gift of healing. Crystal and gemstones have been used for healing, guidance, and guidance for thousands of years. One of the reasons that gemstones adored kings and queens would support them with the wisdom. Crystals have been used to. Yeah, we actually need to get ourselves a crystal, crystal skull, whatever. And you and I need to take one ghost hunting with us.
Yes, and we'll name it, and then we'll ask it questions as we walk around and looking for things, for ghostesses.
So we need to buy one, but I don't want to pay $22,000 an ounce.
You know, there's been recently, especially ever since this Mandela effect fucking thing started, or whatever effect people are talking about, though, the Enlightenment time, everybody and their mom is going down and buying crystals. Everybody has a big ass crystal in their bedroom. They're wearing crystals around their neck. Everybody's dealing with the crystals. It's amazing. Yeah, so everyone's dealing with the crystal thing, the crystal magic. They're putting all their energy into the cold fusion of the crystal, their magical powers. I guess I'm not going to debunk it because it's got to be something to it a little bit. I've seen too many people, even through antiquity, using crystals to heal, not to use it as a tool to transfer over energy. I would think of it as more of an energy tool.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting it down. I'm not going to sit here and call hippies and bullshit. They are just fucking idiots. New Agers are fucking fools. They don't have any idea of technology. They don't know what the hell they're doing with certain things. But I think there is something to do with the crystals.
I got to give a shout out to Hazel Fever for helping out our show yesterday. Hazel, you're like, what? I helped out your show yesterday? Yes. The reason you helped out our show yesterday because a lot of people were mentioning the roof of the White House.
Yes.
And Bob was asking me.
I had to ask
about it, and I said, "Well, I remember this shape from the Superman movie." And then somebody in the chat was mentioning the roof, and I go, "Bob, what is with this roof? White House coming up, and then somebody in the
Yeah.
chat goes, "Oh, Hazel did a video of it."
Hazel did a video of it.
News channel got the video because that's where I remember where the shape of the roof was. I can't remember what the shape was. Only thing I remember was like, oh, Superman flew it on top back to the White House. So it was kind of cool how like little perfect storms.
Yeah, I knew that Erickson Mendejo that is a big he's a big Superman fan. He's a big Superman fan, like from the word go. He knows the movies. So I said, Eric, do you remember the dome? And Eric's like, I had to think about it. He says, well, I do know that Superman brought it back to the White House at the end of Superman 2. I said, okay, there you go. Okay, so you remember? He goes, I remember who it has to be because Superman brought it back. So yeah, I remember the dome.
Yeah, that's
okay. That's funny because that's exactly what he used as a residual evidence.
On Superman, I didn't really remember what the roof looked like. I remember Superman. Like then somebody wrote in the chat, isn't it weird how he was able to carry this whole roof just with the flagpole? I'm thinking that's true, right? The flagpole must have been like Superman pole because it did hold up the roof.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was kind of cool. That was
good.
Kind of cool, weird because I guess there is no dome, but I could swear in that movie he dropped it off by a dome. So that was just kind of cool how everything just kind of worked together. It's like, wow.
Well, I knew because it involved Superman and a superhero and a movie, you would remember it.
I recall the dome shape. Who knows what they're doing now to the White House since it's hidden from us now?
Right.
Honestly, Suzanne, only reason I remember a dome because of the Superman movie. That was it. I never paid attention to the White House, and that's the truth.
Yeah, I used to work in DC, so he's a shill. I guess so. I have a government clearance.
Bob did. I used to live in Frederick, Maryland, and Frederick, Maryland was only like 15 minutes away from from DC. And we used to drive down to DC. I was curious what the stuff looked like too. Yeah,
I worked for the United States government. Yes, I had a security clearance. Yes, there goes the shill jokes. But yes, I did.
I made Hillary Reality began to get emails from Mothman. Yeah, we did a show 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago on the Mothman. Yeah, we did a show on the Mothman a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a lot of our subjects keep popping up and in reality before after what's like I said, we joked about Elon Musk all of a sudden
now shells. Yeah, I guess you could say that we used to work with DC, right?
Yeah, I can't lie, Tony. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think you even asked me that before. I was like, yeah, I worked in DC. Yes, I worked right in Washington. I got a security clearance. Yes. I always came on it. I always stay honest on his show. That way people that come at me, they're like, you were a Freemason. Yes, I was a Freemason. Yes, and still am, according to the.
And you used to work for the biggest museum around the world.
Yeah.
I always thought that when people say the word shells, shells are related to Hollywood.
Smithsonian Institute, man. I work for the whole fucking branch.
There's some YouTube channels right now. I know that there's some people that's hanging out in LA in the shell section. So I don't know. Put two together, right? I know a show person used to work in Hollywood. CFM used to work in Hollywood.
Used to work in Hollywood. Hollywood fucking guy.
I guess technically everybody's a shell.
That's what I say.
I guess
everybody's a liar. That's a liar's planet.
I guess we're all shells, but
I always tell the truth, and that's when I tell the truth, it makes me a shield because it sounds just like I'm like, I'll tell you the truth. You were a Freemason, yeah. You work for the government, yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yes, it is.
Look right here, advisory crystal skulls to get a quartz kind of a necklace, and then do some ghost hunting with it. I'm serious. I want to do a ghost hunt with the quartz thing to see.
Well, we could bring a crystal, but you can't. We don't have a. That's
we don't have a skull, but we can try to find a quartz crystal.
A quartz crystal. I would love to do an experiment with a quartz crystal out there.
Is this you're wearing that ISXI Freemason ring?
I don't have the ring. I don't wear rings. My hands are too big. I got hands like a bear. People used to say you look like a fucking grizzly bear. Yeah.
I'm a Canadian show. We are weak. So if you're from Canada, I guess Canada, yeah, I guess people are Canada they consider the sister country. So I guess you're weaker.
Yeah, no, but my grand poobah used to have the Freemason ring. I knew a lot of guys have Freemason rings. But one of the reasons why, I always try to stress this with people, the reason why I had to walk away from them is because they themselves have become affected with the changes. Too many changes with them. There used to be one Knights Templar on a horse. Now there's two, which there's a lot of meaning for that now to me. Also, the compass, everything, the square and compass has changed for me. One side is short, one side was long in my timeline, and now they're both even. Now they're both even, so that's changed. The G in the middle has the complete system of Freemasonry has completely changed to me. So they themselves, for me, is a big ass Mandela effect. Even when I went back to talk to my old friends from the lodge, they were different. They were not the same people. So I had to walk the fuck away from them. They're a little bit on the weird. They're a weird version here. I don't know these people. So yeah, I had to walk away. I know other people that were like myself with whatever they have, had to walk away too. They see it too. They're like, these aren't the same. Everything's different. The symbols are different. The way they talk is different. Their little hand fucking signals are different. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to kind of clarify.
Now, the Crystal Skull news here, what it says here, you can more than just a Crystal Skull newsletter. You can actually get a newsletter monthly on Crystal Skulls. But this is my thing.
Whoa.
Guys, why would any of you want a newsletter from the Crystal Skull Company? Why would you not want
Get it from Eric?
Want my newsletter? I do a weekly newsletter, people. Look,
Eric's is big.
Crystal Skulls, Tron, Terminator, which we're talking about on Friday. I do this on a weekly basis. You guys should get my newsletter.
And it gives you information you need to know about before the show starts, like in school.
Yeah. So just go to my website, sign up, and it's free, no money. Sign up, and you'll get a newsletter from me
on Sundays.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Weird, right? In the world that something's free.
Yeah, information.
No, guys, actually, the show this Friday. I mean, of course, we all say our shows are, they're fun shows. Everybody says they're a show, but Friday is a fun show because sometimes it's. I'm not saying it's easier or anything, but it's where sometimes certain subjects that are easier to, talk to shit with.
Yes.
It's just easier. And this Friday, so you guys understand about Friday, the title here, let me just go here. Let me go here for a second. Let me just share the screen for a second. I'll show you guys this Friday. Oh, wrong one. My bad. Share.
Ooh.
Here we go. This Friday, the title of this Friday show is called Tron, Terminator, and Star Trek: The Motion Picture Gave Birth to Artificial Intelligence.
AI.
So what that means is Friday we're breaking down these certain kind of movies, these certain kind of sci-fi movies. Tron, Terminator, and Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Not all the Star Trek movies, just the first Star Trek movie, the motion picture, because there's a meaning to that movie about feature, about you can see the picture there about a satellite, and about Tron, about the birth of artificial intelligence, where AI has really exploded. I know a lot of people think of Matrix movies, about the Matrix, they made the Matrix popular, but I would say Matrix is not the first real Matrix movie out there. I mean, you could go back and say Tron is the first real Matrix movie. Terminator using time travel, robots, artificial intelligence to to change the future for themselves so
Yeah.
they don't get defeated. Star Trek, where it actually really gave birth to an artificial intelligence in that movie. So, Tron zapping a real person into the computer world that you could say that created an artificial intelligence. So we're going to be breaking down several sci-fi movies, and we might bring in another movie.
Yes.
These three are the main ones, but there's a lot of sci-fi movies where it deals with a matrix. I would even say the movie My Science Project
That was a great one.
is a major artificial intelligent kind of a time travel, kind of a matrix movie.
Yeah. Now, a lot of you guys need to do some research on Voyager because
Voyager,
is Voyager. Now, Voyager, according to the narrative now from NASA, it's up to you, whatever it is. I'm just giving you guys information.
Space Odyssey, that's a good one. That is a good one. Space Odyssey, yes.
Space Odyssey is a great one.
Guys, you can only do a title less than 100 words. So I couldn't put in like 4 or 5 movies, I can only make it fit into 100 words. So
But
I'm
don't
sorry.
forget, Voyager has, according to literature, it has made it to the edge of our solar system. And according to the data that's coming back from Voyager that was sent out in the 70s, the matter in the vacuum of space is becoming more dense and hotter. It's becoming denser and hotter. So matter is becoming more dense. Now, the unusual thing is how they sending communication back and we're receiving it in a vacuum of space. I can't tell you that. I don't know how that's magic. We're going to call that magic. Also, the fact that in my time, I don't remember the Voyager ever having nuclear energy. So the reason why Voyager is able to sustain itself and go that far, at that distance, at the edge of our solar system, is the fact that it's running off nuclear energy.
Don't tell them all of it. You gotta say something for Friday. And
Friday.
And Terry, we actually talked about Runaway.
Yes.
We talked about Runaway on this show before, about Tom Selleck and Gene Simmons, about the robot spiders and how they use artificial intelligence, how they use robotic missiles that are actually used nowadays. When they use this in a movie that was way before his time.
Way ahead before his time, man.
Now, a lot of that stuff in that movie really happened and it's really true. I mean, right now.
Yeah.
Or you could even go as far as future movies like Blade Runner, in a way, where they built robots to be the workers, and they got tired of being the workers, and they wanted just to have regular life like everybody else.
Well, they did cybernetics too. Remember, they did geoengineering. So you're like human robots. They're literally human with flesh and blood and carbon-based actual androids.
And right there, he's right. The drone floater, the cameras, we talked about that before too, where
we have that now.
We had the floating drones going inside a house to find a shooter. I mean, it's yeah, we talked about this, and that could be brought up again on Friday because it's gonna be about science fiction. Because a lot of people don't realize this, that Drew Trops, movies with hints. More Drew Trops are within the horror movies and sci-fi movies.
Yeah,
hidden in there because some of these Drew Trops can't be shown on regular dramas and stuff because it's too real,
too much.
But in science fiction and horror, they do it all the time. It's just you gotta look through it. You gotta dig through it. And a lot of these sci-fi and horror movies are built on what's going on in real life.
Yeah.
And they just use horror and sci-fi to disguise it.
I've seen, and I don't know how to explain it. I'm just calling it we're in a video game in Matrix reality, whatever, because a lot of those movies seem to be coming true. A lot of mythology is coming true now. A lot of those early ideas of movie ideas and projects are coming true now. I mean, I'm waiting for I'm just waiting for a unicorn to pop up somewhere. In fact, I think there are similar odd animals that look like unicorns now. There are things coming to truth that they should not exist. And technologies that are popping up left and right. Eric and I are going like, what now?
Yeah.
They talked about this in the 80s, and here it is. It's just, and it's like nothing. It's like it's always been here. It's always been here, and it's no big deal. No big deal. You've got airplanes running on water, okay? They're hydrogen. They're running on hydrogen. The CFM, I always make a joke about the CFM
show.
engines.
Tony, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yes, the Truman Show.
Truman Show. I mean, people think of Nightmare on Elm Street as a typical Freddy Krueger funny guy, but just think about how many things that we're discovering, how people discovered new birth through dreams.
Yeah.
And and using horror to show that he attacks people in dreams is where people get their brilliant ideas. People say that if you die in a dream, you die in real life. I mean, there's more meaning into a nightmare than people really think.
Yeah,
so,
I heard a dream like that.
We don't do a regular movie review show like, well, did you like the movie? Well, yes, Bob, I give it a thumbs up. It had all this adventure. No, fuck that shit. We break this shit down.
What the hell's going on with it?
On the real meaning of what the movie's about. So we're just not going to talk about something that, I don't know what's even a hit movie nowadays because the movie theaters have been closed. I don't even know what's the hottest topic on movies really. But breaking down movies is fun. But you know what, Bob? Let me say this real quick. Sometimes it's weird that I've never seen sometimes on how they can make you re-excited for a movie that you saw once that was all right. It wasn't like nothing special.
Yeah.
But they're making it where it's like, holy shit, I'm going to have to watch this. This looks exciting somehow again. And what I mean is there's a new trailer out for Warner Brothers. We all remember the Justice League.
Yeah.
It came out a few years ago. It was a decent movie. It wasn't like nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
But if you watch this trailer of the Zack Snyder cut, they recut this freaking movie where it's almost like a brand new movie. Whoa. And now you watch this fucking trailer like, holy shit, I gotta watch this. And it's weird to have that feeling because you already technically watched it. But they broke it down and redid it where they took out, I don't know, I'm not going to try to get nerdy here.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get nerdy here, but Zack Snyder got fired from making the Justice League, and they brought in Josh Whedon. And the movie you could tell the movie wasn't cut very well.
Yeah.
But they took out every scene that was made by Josh Whedon, and Zack Snyder redid new scenes to make his masterpiece. So it's just weird. I'm sorry, guys, it is weird that you're watching this movie you saw before that was like, but you're watching this trailer like, holy shit, this might be good. I mean, we're living in a weird time right now.
I know.
Time that you could do this shit. And I'm thinking to myself, I wish if I had the money, to redo special effects, if I was rich, if I was Donald Trump, I would take the last Starfighter, take all the graphics and just don't change the actors, don't change the storyline, just redo all the special effects, and I bet you almost got yourself a brand new movie.
Well, you and I joke about our last Starfighter. I have a lot of to me a lot of similarities to what we are kind of here, where we joke about the drone or the humanoid that takes his place. So there's technically two of him. So one of them is out fighting us in a starship against the enemy, and the other one is taking his place back home. There's two of them. That's interesting concept. One is gone, one is here, and they both have the same memories, the same thing, but one is a drone or a fake. The other one is the real person. But the fake
yeah,
it's weird. It's a weird idea, you know. Also, Barbarella. I know how a lot of you people are thinking they're laughing, but Barbarella is another cool movie you guys need to watch because Barbarella has a lot of tooth drops. If you guys remember Barbarella, psychedella, da, 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 da. Anyway, it's got a lot of. It talks about the magma of their wherever they live is evil. It's like dark matter. It's everywhere. It's like liquidy. It's in everything. It's underground. It's like the magma. It's the whole thing is just convulsed in dark matter. It's an interesting movie. What's this? Is this the last one?
I was just telling people I actually made a video about The Last Starfighter on how it's a documentary of our lives and how, like Bob's saying, it's more true to real life than you ever saw.
Yeah.
And another thing about Bob was saying about Barbarella, another movie used something from Barbarella in their movie. If you guys remember Sylvester Stallone in the Demolition Man, there's a scene in the Sylvester Stallone Demolition Man where he was having sex with Sandra Bullock with a machine, right? They couldn't touch. Remember, in Barbarella, that came from Barbarella where they did a machine because they didn't want to do touching.
Yeah.
Where Barbarella had to teach a guy kind of like how to have sex the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, they didn't do it anymore.
Man. So, and if you think about the future, what is the one thing they've been doing this last year? Stay away. Stay 6 feet away.
Yeah, it's got a lot of truth drops. So you guys need to watch Barbarella.
Barbarella was about not touching.
Yeah.
Touching. Remember, guys, Sylvester Stallone in Demolition Man? Touching. Ooh, we banned that. I don't know. I can't remember when they banned it or whatever. Yeah. No, we use this now. And think about what we're living in now. Must stay 6 feet away. Don't touch. Don't shake hands. Juice it up. Bob, truth drops of what's going on.
Yeah.
They're right there in the movies.
Yeah. You guys need to watch Barbarella because even the bad protagonists, you could see how they live and their overabundant lifestyle. Then you have the poor that live in. It's got a lot of deep meaning symbolisms in it. And before present, it was okay. But now what's going on around the world, it has a lot more meaning. So another movie to kind of add to your list is Barbarella. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look.
It's a spacey movie, but it's a different kind of because she got shag carpet in her spaceship. I love their spaceship. I like it because it's a fun movie. Yes.
No, it's a one of a kind movie. I mean, it really is. I think it's made in 1968. God, was it really 1968?
Wow.
Jane Fonda. Holy cow, 1968. I thought it was 70s. And is that the machine that gives you? Yeah, that's the machine where they have sex in it.
Well, yeah, what it does is simulates it, but this is where the name Duran Duran came from. The band Duran Duran got the name from this movie from Barbarella because the doctor that's doing this machine on her, his name is Duran Duran, Dr. Duran Duran.
They ban touching in the future, but they won't take Bob's galactic handies away.
I would say Gayate Cabrón, but I'm going to say yes. I agree with you. Simone, bitch. Simone, bitch. Yes.
That's right. Didn't she make love to the bird guy?
Yeah, Igor. Yeah, he's like an angel. Igor.
Blind angel, isn't he?
He's a blind angel. They took his eyes away, so he couldn't see. Yes.
Well, hey, guys. We're gonna basically end the show today. We're gonna come back on Friday, and because I gotta today's Wednesday in the state of Washington. Red Robin has kids meals all day for $2.99. So what we do is we buy everybody a meal here, but we buy it in a kid size for $2.99, and we always click the box for extra fries. So, and guys, and these little kids, little burgers, almost the same size of burgers you get at McDonald's. And Red Robin is not sponsoring us. They should now.
Yeah, you should.
On Wednesdays, after every show on Wednesday, guys, we always buy like Bob goes for $2.99. I can order myself 2 kid meals.
2 kids meals.
I get 2 burgers.
That's more of an EU British.
And guys, the show on Friday is at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Friday. That always gives us enough time to get even more stuff done. So, wasn't there nudity in Barbarella? I don't close, but it is rated R. But if it came out today, I think it could actually pass for $2.99. Can pass for PG-13.
Yeah, there's no blatant nudity. There's one scene where she wears a bra that's a one of them is see-through, but it's colored.
But it's not really like see-through.
Yeah,
it's see-through, but without. It's kind of like when Prince wore that butt suit where you can kind of like see his butt, but not really his body.
But no over the top. It's 1968. So Tony, trying to think back in 1968, the nudity in 1968, which is not that bad. It's not.
Yeah. Really, so guys, come back on Friday, and if you live in a state where you get Red Robin for $2.99, treat your family to $2.99 meals. Yeah. Guys, we'll see you all on Friday, and have a good Red Robin day.